everyone.
Hi.
Hi, everyone on screen.
Hello.
Hello. All right. So, welcome. My name is Paige. I'm with the Sheets Public Library, and we're here for Images That Shimmy and Shake, a great play shop with Karina Castlebaum. Round of applause. Yay! This is a joint program between the Sheets Public Library and the Central Oregon Writers Guild. The Central Oregon Writers Guild mission is to provide Central Oregon area writers a forum for mutual support and education through meetings, annual events, and workshops. Their goal is to advance growth and success for individual writers of all genres and skill levels. Founded in 2002, the Guild is a nonprofit organization run entirely by volunteers. Hi. All right. I'm going to turn it over now to Mike Cooper, who is the president of Central Oregon Writers Guild.
Hi, everybody. So if you're on Zoom or watching the recording, you're seeing the Central Oregon Writers Guild landing page, which is our meetings and events page. And I just want to go through what's coming up in Central Oregon here. This is tonight, our play shop with Karina. Next month, we've got Deborah, I think it's Freshy, doing a workshop for self-editing. We also have a March workshop, which is on a Saturday, March 19th, 1 to 4 p.m. And this is Bob Balmer, and he's going to talk about laughter, getting humor into your writing. And if you're interested in that, click this little RSVP now button here on the website. These events are $10 for members, $25 for non-members, and the registration is up. It shouldn't say coming soon, it's actually up. More stuff the rest of the year is listed out there. But I want to show you also events that are coming up in general in Central Oregon. So we have quiet writing at the library on Mondays downtown and Tuesdays in Redmond. We have all the events that I know of as far as reading and writing and so on and so forth. There's a poetry contest. The Oregon Poetry Contest submissions are open starting February 1st. There's a story project for any of the members who are living in Jefferson County here. Author readings. Here's our Central Oregon Writers Guild meeting. More author readings. Critique group that you can check out online. Sub-COCC classes, hook your audience. I think I've got one coming up here too at COCC soon, somewhere. I don't know, maybe it's not up there. I thought I did on Tuesday, but maybe I didn't put it on there. Oh, there it is, to plot or not to plot. But I actually think it's beginnings, middles, and ends, but I'll have to look at that for sure, I'm sorry. All the other stuff, Ellen Sanchezero is doing some memoir classes, Blank Pages Writing Salon, more classes, more workshops, more author reading. So all that stuff is on there. So there is a wealth of activity in Central Oregon coming up for writers. So participate as you wish. And if you know of anything that's not on there, let me know and I'll put it on the website. So that is all I got. Who's our reader, Mary? Ted. And Ted, are you with us?
Yep.
Yep, great. Okay. So I'm going to have Mary introduce our featured reader, and I'm going to stop sharing here. Yeah, you can come on up to where the owl is.
Thanks, Mike. Oops. I have to avoid the cords. So I'm the featured reader coordinator, and if anyone here would like to see the featured reader in one of our upcoming meetings, please let me know. I would love to have you read for us. But this evening's reader is Ted. Ted Haynes has been a member of Central Oregon Writers Guild for 10 or more years. He is the author of 5 books set in Central Oregon, A History of Vanderbilt Ranch near Sun River, a book of short stories that take place from 1853 to 2039, and 3 mysteries in his Northwest Murder Mystery series. Still learning, he says his ambition is to make every book better than the last. He has read from his books multiple times in local bookstores, and his books have been enthusiastically reviewed in Cascade Arts and Entertainment, The Source Weekly, and The Bulletin. Ted and his wife first visited Central Oregon in 1975 and now have a house on the Little Deschutes River. When he isn't writing, he can often be found swimming with the Central Oregon Master Aquatics in Bend. Please welcome Ted Haynes.
Thank you very much, Mary. I appreciate it. And thank you all for listening in advance. I'm trying this out. This will be the 4th in the Murder Mystery series. The last one was the Mount Bachelor Murders, which was, does it look backwards to you? It looks backwards to me. Anyhow, it was centered on skiing. The next one is centered around Ben's premier sporting event, the pole pedal paddle. And this is my guess at what the cover might look like, something like that when it gets done. It hasn't been designed by anybody professional yet. So I thought I'd read a few pages from the beginning of it. Smiles and grimaces are welcome, as our comments already have. This first chapter is narrated by Deschutes County Sheriff's Detective Carl Bruninger. I volunteered to drive a convict to the state facility in Lakeview after his conviction for murder in Bend. The man sat in the back seat behind the metal screen. His hands were cuffed in front of him, and the handcuffs were chained to a bracket on the floor. But the handcuffs were loose, and the chain to the floor was long enough that the man could sit comfortably. I felt badly for the man, even if he was a convicted killer. Roland Lightfeather had never been arrested before. He'd worked all his life and raised a son who was on his way to law school. The man Roland killed was the man who murdered his father when Roland was a child. Lightfeather wasn't evil even if he had broken the law. He wasn't likely to break it again. I wanted Lightfeather to ride to his 5-year incarceration with someone he knew, and that someone was me. With luck, he would serve his minimum sentence and go home. Stay calm in prison when you get there, I told him, and pay attention. Act polite and considerate. Don't ask too many questions about people. Privacy is scarce. Don't be too quick to make friends. And stay away from the child molesters. They can seem like the most normal and civilized people in there, but nobody wants to be their friend. A lot of prisoners were abused themselves when they were children. I delivered Roland and started the drive back to Bend when the Deschutes County medical examiner, Kristen Val, called me on my cell phone. I'm working a death just outside of town on Route 20 that looks like a suicide, but might not be. I think you better get out here. If it was suicide, I'd be home for dinner. If it was murder, or might be murder, I could be out to all hours. It was 3 o'clock on a cold and cloudy January afternoon, and I had 2 more hours to get to Bend. You got an ID? Wendy Whitlock, white female, 38. Her son says he came home from school and found her hanging from a beam in the barn behind her house. And it might not be suicide? No note on the body, and the son, Ethan Whitlock, says there is no note in the kitchen counter where she usually leaves notes. He says, for what it's worth, that his mother wasn't unhappy and that she would never commit suicide. Also, she looks as fit as she could be. The son says she competes in ski races. If she's a suicide, she's the healthiest looking suicide I've ever seen. Where's the body now? Lying on a workbench in the barn with a tarp over her. I'm waiting for a hearse to take her away. Ethan cut her down. So he's compromised the scene, I said. You could say that, said Kirsten. He says the ladder was lying on the floor and he set it up so he could climb up and get her. Lifted her down by himself. What time did she die? 2 o'clock, give or take a few minutes. I checked her temperature and lividity. There's one good thing about Ethan's bringing her down. It would have been hard to get a rectal temperature up in the air. Kristen expected the body she examined to be lying down. She was a diminutive redhead, strong for her size, but she never moved bodies herself if she could help it. Where is Ethan now? I asked. There's a workout space in the back corner of the building. He's sitting on a bench, keeping an eye on me. Shotwell is on his way to talk with the boy, get him out of here and back in the house. And Susan is on her way. I told her to bundle up. It's freezing in here. Reverend Shotwell was the sheriff's department chaplain. The man saw a lot of grief, and, God bless him, he dealt with a lot of stuff we didn't want to. He was a pastor in an evangelical church, but he could comfort anybody, even an atheist. Susan McCarthy was the tech on contract with the sheriff's department. She was on call to document crime scenes, take photographs, draw diagrams, and bag evidence. Kristen, the medical examiner, must have talked the sheriff into sending Susan out on a pretty slim evidence a crime had been committed. What do you think? I asked Kristen. Is it murder, or are we just covering all the bases? Suicide by hanging is common enough, even among women. But death is almost always by asphyxiation. A person can hang an extension cord over a door, put a slip knot around their neck, and collapse on the floor. If they don't get up, they strangle to death. Like Robin Williams, I said. He used a belt, said Kristen. But essentially the same thing. You run out of oxygen. But this woman didn't suffocate. She died the instant she broke her neck. A real execution. She used a hangman's noose, and she had to get up high enough to fall at least 5 feet and make sure her neck broke. That's as far as I've got. Thank you. Thank you. Actually, I'm sorry, I've written a great deal more, but that's as far as I'm going to read.
My intention for this night, this evening, and remind me, Mike, I have 45 minutes, did you say?
Yeah, let's shoot for, yeah, we'll see. Like 6:45, you're probably good. So you've got.
Oh, that's amazing.
You've got almost, yeah.
That's like
almost an hour.
holy mackerel. That's awesome. Okay. Oh, wow. We're good to go. My intention was that this would be a playful kind of fun process just to get, the juices flowing and enjoy each other's company and writing. And so my process, I do have a handout for you. I'm not going to go through the whole handout. I think what'll happen is we'll go through a process and it'll make more sense once we go through some things together. But let me take this off. So I would like to invite you to take a couple of minutes to make a list, and the list includes characters from fairy tales, cartoons, or mythology. Fairy tales, cartoons, or mythology. You will have 90 seconds to 2 minutes. So just go, make your list. And I'm going to get my phone for my time. Okay, just finish the word you're printing on your page now, and let's put our pens down for a moment. So Paige, do we have more paper? Because this process for you here and those of you in Zoom land is going to be written by hand. So everything is by hand tonight versus devices. And there's a reason for that. Does anybody need paper here?
No.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. So I'd love to invite you to share, maybe 2 or 3 on your list that you really like. So if you'd like to share, and people who are listening, if you hear character that you go, oh yeah, I forgot that one, and you like it, write it down on your own sheet of paper, okay? So who came to mind?
Rumpelstiltskin.
Rumpelstiltskin. Great. Who else?
Fred Flintstone.
Fred Flintstone. Yabba dabba doo. What else you got?
Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown. Okay.
Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah. Woohoo. Wile E. Coyote. Yeah. Who else?
The witch with the apple.
The Witch with the Apple from, isn't that Sleeping Beauty?
Yes.
The witch. Snow White.
Sleeping Beauty was what put the curse on her when she was a baby.
Okay. Snow White's the bad witch in Snow White.
Yes.
Thank you. With the apple. Who else?
Big Gatsby.
Big Gatsby. Good. Who else?
Coyote and Raven, 2 tricksters from Native American mythology.
Excellent. Who else you got?
3 pigs going to market.
The 3 Little Pigs. Okay. We got a few more.
Zeus, God of War, Zeus.
Zeus. Okay. Anybody else dying to say, hey, these are some other ones I got? Cartoons.
The Kraken. Like the Kraken, the monster.
The Kraken. Yeah.
First name D,
Yeah.
second name Kraken.
The Kraken.
Yeah. Simba, the lion. Is it lion, right?
Lion,
Simba
yeah.
the lion. Okay. Who else? Anybody else got some more?
Cinderella.
Bunny, Cinderella, Red Riding Hood. We could make a seriously really, really long list. But you all have a list now, correct? So I want to ask you to take a moment and allow, which one of those characters would you like to spend a little time with? I want you to choose one that you like best, or that has an edginess to it, or that surprised you, but one that you can get it, that you feel like this feels kind of compelling and vivid. So just choose one. If you've chosen one, go like this. Don't think too hard about it. You got one? Everybody in Zoom land, you got one?
They're all waving their.
They're all
hands.
with, oh, bravo. Well, I can't see the people who are on, no, not video, but yeah, bravo. Okay. All righty. So what I'd like you to do is take a blank piece of paper. And what we're going to do, what you're invited to do, is you're going to respond to these questions as your character. Okay, so magic dust, magic dust, magic dust, you're now that character. So everything I'm going to ask you, you're going to respond as the character. Ready? And this is going to go fairly fast. We're not going to spend lots of time on each one of these questions. What time of day or night is it? What season? Where are you? What is the temperature like? What sounds do you hear in the environment? What does the air smell like? Where is the light coming from? Is it coming floor lamps, ceiling, starlight? How old are you? Is anyone else in this image? And if so, who? What are you doing at this moment? Why are you there? As you look around, what kind of objects do you see? Or phenomena? What is directly in front of you? What is directly behind you? Turn your head to the left. What do you see? Now turn your head to the right. What do you see? Okay, now at the top of your paper, write the image that you're working with. The image that you're working with. What is the name of the image you're working with? That's your title. Everybody set here? Okay, everybody set in Zoom land? Okay. So what this process involves, what's going to happen now is you're going to have a timed period of writing, and you're going to start with the words I am. and you're going to write in first person present tense. We'll talk more about other tenses later, but that's how it starts. First person present tense. And you keep your pen moving. If you happen to get stuck, you can just keep moving. XYZ, 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 blah, 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 whatever the hell you need to do to keep your hand moving on the paper. And this is going to be your promising first draft. You're going to have 7 minutes. What you just did was you took notes for the 7-minute story you're going to write. So it may not be that every single note you took just now will be in what you write, but this is the blueprint for you. Capiche? Okay. So I'm going to set the timer for 7 minutes. Any questions before we begin from here, from anybody? No? I guess there's none from Zoom land either. Okay. 7 minutes, go. Okay, complete the sentence you're working on. Wherever you have come to is the perfect place to stop. And as soon as you're done with that sentence, put your pen down. And so I want to invite just maybe a few of you who feel moved to share this first draft, if you'd like. To do that, just please do this so I know who, if anyone wants to read what you wrote. And I cannot see all of you there on the screen behind me.
I can watch the screen.
Oh, you, my goddess, thank you. Does anybody here want to read what you wrote? You writers, you? What is your name again?
Eric.
Thank you, Eric, please, yes. And when Eric is done reading, what we're all gonna do is just, woo-hoo. Good, this is fantastic. Thank you, Eric.
It's not that. So I may have missed the directions, but I picked the character that I picked.
So what's the title of yours?
It's what we call a moose at large.
Okay, cool. Let's hear it.
Good grief, must be in the wrong room. Where's Rocky? I thought we would, and perhaps get further instructions. Nothing up my sleeve, but I walked to the room and everybody looked up so expectantly. Masked up like at an operating theater. I just sat down without another word. Stupid, stupid, stupid. So here I am, spilling my guts. How clever, 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 clever. But I really have been so easy to set the trap. I wouldn't thought I would say a word no matter what monstrous thing they try to do next. I can't, I won't. Rocky is depending on me. Well, to deliver the message, the secret message. So he is the secret squirrel, and I've got it in my head. I won't say a word, not another word. Now, any minute, 7 cents, 7 brides, 7, lucky 7, come 11. Here we see roll the dice. Ooh, how they wait. What technique, what deviousness, audaciousness, evilish method. Where's Rocky? Right about now. Come on, old boy, zoom into the room. Break the glass, zoom in, zoom in. Ooh, boy, what if he's zooming and not zooming here? Rocky, old buddy, where are you? The cagey one, the interrogator, doesn't give a hint of it. Time, time, time. That's the secret, of course, time. It moves.
Thank you, Eric. Who else would love to share what you wrote? Yeah, what's your name?
Amanda.
Amanda? Thank you, Amanda.
Hey, Amanda. Yeah. People aren't gonna hear you from back there.
Come on up.
Do you mind standing up and getting closer? We couldn't quite hear Eric, unfortunately.
Here, why don't you come on up here?
Thank you, Amanda.
Do you prefer to stand or sit?
I'll stand up and sit all day.
Okay, so why don't you come right on over here and I'll get out of the way.
All right.
Here you are. How's that?
Dan, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so what's the title?
Okay, Moonlit Night.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, and my character I chose was Tinkerbell.
No, oh, okay, so you don't have to tell us in the beginning, you just go ahead and read.
Alrighty.
Now, I didn't tell you that, though, so my bad. Okay,
Okay.
carry on.
I am loving the warmth of this evening. I wish Peter were here to enjoy it too, but those loud, obnoxious lost boys would probably come too. And Thumbelina's house would probably get squashed, or Mr. Frog get caught and hung upside down by his toes, maybe even squashed. I don't know why Peter wants to spend so much time with Wendy when he could be here with me, enjoying the panpipes, or even playing them himself. He does play wonderful tunes, and the fairies would love them. I bet he plays them for Wendy. Why doesn't he play them here now for me? I would appreciate them more than she does. I can even cock-a-doodle-doo almost as good as Peter. I bet she's never crowed or even come close like he can. Sigh. Peter would have so much fun if he were here with us fairies. We know how to have fun. More fun than those lost boys.
Thank you. Who else would care to share from here or Zoomland? Any Zoomlanders? Anybody see their page?
Yes.
No, huh?
Why are you being
Okay.
so shy?
I have no idea why they are.
Tom?
I'll read. I'll
Tom,
read.
you want to
Oh,
read?
did you have your hand up, Tom?
Okay.
Oh,
All
okay.
right.
Okay, Tom, what's the title? And then just tell it, just read your story to us.
Escape from the tower.
Okay.
Okay,
Is
go
my-
ahead.
Is my voice clear? Can you hear my voice?
Tom, we can hear you. You can go ahead and read.
I'm concerned about her position high up in the tower, locked in. I am out of ideas. The guards almost all around. The princess found this attic shelter at the top floor of the castle, the tower that I am standing at the bottom of. Outside, no doors, no windows except one at the very top. I can't climb it. No place to hang on to. The princess hangs out the window, pleading for help. Some of her hairdo falls below where she is leaning, a good distance. And I am thinking, let all your hair fall, all of it. Let all of your hair fall, all of it. It falls beautifully, blonde. I reach and I can't quite get it. And I say, wet the hair, pull on it, lean out of down and down further, and she does. I gather boulders, tree trunks, and I lift myself higher than I was, and now the hair is within my grasp. I am imagining, I am who I am where I am that I am.
Nice.
Thank you, Tom. Thank
You're
you so much.
welcome.
And anybody else for this round? Okay, so,
Wait, Ginger.
I'm sorry.
Ginger would like to
Oh,
go from
hi,
Zoom.
hi, Ginger. Go ahead. Tell us the title and then just launch right in.
Ginger, you're muted.
Oh, there we go.
Ginger, go
Can you
ahead.
hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you great. Thank you.
Okay, great. Right, the title is Breakfast in the Forest.
Great.
All right. My name is Griselda. It is a beautiful sunny morning, but I'm starving. I could eat a piece of my gingerbread house, but that would ruin its visual appeal. Besides, gingerbread gives me a stomachache. What I'm really hungry for is young human flesh. Boy or girl, doesn't matter. Cheeks and thighs are especially delicious. Plump, round, fatty. I have a big barbecue in back of my house, not large enough for an adult, but perfect for a youngster 8 to 10 years old. Older than that, they start getting stringy, hard to chew, let alone swallow. The best meal I ever had was a 7-year-old boy named Sue. He got lost one day about a year ago and ended up here. He must have thought he was in heaven when he saw all the gingerbread, gumdrops, frosting, and sprinkles.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Was fun. Was fun.
I'm hungry now, Ginger. Thanks a lot. Oh, gosh, that's awesome. Everybody, thank you so much. And for those of you who wrote but didn't read, awesome as well, because, you know, everybody participated, and I love that. How would you like to do one more? And then we'll have a wee bit of conversation. How's that sound? Okay. So this one is going to be the same process, little different. Prompt. So I thought it would be kind of cool to think about your first or best or most memorable kiss. This could be from childhood, adolescence, anytime in adulthood to the present. Could be a current or a past partner, a lover. It could be a friend. I want you to notice I am not saying anything about the kind of kiss, just a kiss. So take 90 seconds and write down what comes to you about your first, best, or most memorable kiss. And I'll time you for 90 seconds. Go. Okay. Great. Finish the last word you're working on there. And let's pause. Thank you. Without thinking about it too much, I want you to go in now and circle the one that feels that is that you like the best, or is the most compelling, or is edgy, or feels like maybe it's got a little trouble in it or something like that, or that surprised you. Something vivid. Go ahead and circle that one. Okay. Everyone ready? Over here? You ready in Zoom land? Everybody's ready. Okay, fresh sheet of blank paper. Okay, and then you're going to write what the image is on top. What's the image? That's your title. The image you're working with. We're going to work with you're going to get inside this image. It's just a working title. Okay. That you're working, yeah, that you just wrote about. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, you bet. Okay. So, first question. Who are you with? How old are you? Where's the light coming from? What's the season? What time of day or night is it? Where are you? What are you doing? What sounds do you hear? If you turn your head and look around, what do you see? What's the temperature like? Okay. Everyone here in Zoom land ready? This one is going to be 5 minutes. So just go ahead and get started using your notes and write whatever story you want about this kiss and go. Okay, finish the sentence that you're working on right now. the pens down as soon as you're done with that. Anybody having any fun with any of this?
Yeah.
Uh-huh, I hope so, because that's what we're here for. We have a couple people that might want to share something you wrote, or share what you wrote, not something, but what you wrote. Anybody here in Zoom land that wants to read? Couple people.
I will.
Mike, thank you. Hit it.
All right, it's called Outside of Skateland, 1971. I'm not sure if we skated during the couple skates. We may have, but it wasn't anything sexual, just two friends holding hands. She was funny. I was funny too. We tried to make each other laugh. We tried not to laugh. We did impressions, told jokes, made fun of ourselves and our classmates. She was quick and light and limber. She was thin with long, flat black hair. She was Italian, as much as any of us were Italian. Her last name was my grandfather's first name. We stood against the building. It may have been raining. Yes, that's more romantic. We stood under the eaves. Have you ever kissed anyone? No. Have you? No. Want to give it a try?
Thank you, Mike. Thank you so much. Anybody else who hasn't read that would like to? Yes, please. Yeah. What is your name?
Oh, I'm Trish,
Thank you, Trish.
and it's wet lips, but not too wet. But it kind of, the story changed.
Okay.
So.
Hey, Trish, remember to speak
Oh,
up.
why don't you want to come over here, Trish? I'm going to get out of the way and you can come on in. Please. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, he's so cute. I can't believe he asked me to walk home with him. He seems to think I'm cute too. He's acting like it. Whoa, he just took my hand, webbed his fingers with mine, like Connie and Jeannie do with their boyfriends. They're my big sisters. Wow, a kiss. My first kiss. Lips are soft. He kind of surprised me. I wonder if that was his first kiss. It was fairly quick, but softer and wetter than any kiss from friends or relatives. I liked it. I want to do that again. Hey, do you like Oreos? He said. Yeah, who doesn't? I like them with milk. Perfect, because I think that's all we have in the house, unless Graham's went to the grocery store. You live with your grandma? Yeah, my parents are dead. Whoa. Thank you.
All right, Janet would like to go from Zoom.
Janet from Zoom. Hi, Janet.
Hi, Janet from Zoom.
Hi, Janet Dart. Okay. title-
Laura Mahan.
Thank you, Janet.
Okay, this one's a little different.
Okay, just read. That's all right. Just title and read. We're with you, Janet.
A stolen kiss.
Great.
Linda and I went out for our weekly girls' night out. No husbands or boyfriends. We drank, we danced, and then I spotted him. We moved toward each other on the dance floor, our bodies pressed together as we swayed to the music. He smelled of musk. His dark skin shone with beads of sweat. His lips beckoned me. Want to step outside, he asked. We almost ran. He leaned me against I can't read my writing. He leaned me against a fence as our arms groped each other, lips meeting. Soft lips, tongues exploring, bodies on fire. Time to go back inside, I said, peeling myself away. I have a husband and a baby at home. What have I done? It was just a kiss.
Thank you, Janet. Thank you. Oh my gosh, this is so awesome. I could sit here all night and listen to you read. I'm serious. I'm not kidding either. Like, do I kid around? I do not. Not about things like that. So, I know that there are so many more of you here that might have things you'd like to read, but we're not going to have time for everyone. I do believe you said leave a little time if there are questions, and there are a couple of things I do want to mention before we're done tonight. So maybe I'll just make a couple brief comments, and if you have questions, you're welcome to, or comments, you're welcome to share. I've been doing this a lot with lots of different, in many different ways, and I work in various genres, but as you'll see, I'm not going to go through it. There's a whole list of ideas for 7-minute stories. You know, but that's not a comprehensive list. Those are just some ideas for you to use. I'm not going to read this thing because you can read it. I included a couple things like verb the noun and unusual word combos, just because I like to shake things up before I get going. It really helps to switch up patterns and helps me loosen up. And so part of the deal with this for me that I love is that I like to let the image itself speak. This is a great way because now I'm not talking about the image. I am in the image and it speaks for itself. And it works fantastically too with, like, if you wake up with a dream, it's an amazing, wonderful way to work with dreams, or a waking dream, you know, like something unusual happens in your day. I urge you to not start this process with computers or devices, but hand to paper. Get the body into the action, and also it helps juice up, I think, spontaneity and intuition and memory, because you're not thinking a lot about this. You're just responding, right, from the memory or as the image. I have also used this with things that are difficult to write about, and I wrote a little bit something about that there. If you choose to do that, to work with difficult memories, for example, because this, you know, can come from totally your own life, I want to encourage you to balance that with alternative sorts of narratives. I want to emphasize that because I think it's super important, and I don't need to say more because I wrote about it there. So those were just a few comments I wanted to make. And if you have any comments or questions, you're welcome to share them.
For those of you on Zoom, did they have access to this?
Mhm.
Okay, sorry.
She's on the job, man.
All right. Cool.
She's Wonder Woman goddess person.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so anyone on Zoom, you should have gotten the URL for that handout, or it's available at DeschutesLibrary.org.
Cool. Great. Thanks. Paige.
Thank
Who
you.
was going to say something?
So what is Clear Lens Coaching?
Oh, that's the name of my work. I work with couples and individuals, and I do creative writing and bookmaking with people and poetry play shops and stuff. So it's all under the umbrella of Clear Lens Coaching. That's my work in the world. Yeah, thank you for asking.
I was curious.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. Anybody else have any questions, comments, thoughts, reflections? What was this like for you, you know?
Can you talk a little bit about this first thing about verb being a noun?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I put a couple examples on there, but I just fooling around with nouns and turning them into verbs, and especially nouns that are more reluctant to be verbified. I like to just fool around with those. So there's just 3 examples here. We mountained morning to the peak of noon. I love how she turned that into that noun into a verb. You can dumpster a poet and he'll still notebook his rhyming. I mean, like, that's sort of like interesting. She sugared him with her father's antique hammer. So yeah, that's one that came to me. So I have a list of nouns and I just fool around with them and turn them into verbs. I don't think a lot about it. I just write sentences and then I use them if I want to. Yeah.
So they're not necessarily nouns that can also be verbs in general use.
Right, and lots of nouns can also serve as verbs, but I like to find the ones that have kind of a little edge to them.
Okay.
They're a little unusual. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Was there someone else that was going to say something here? I thought, no.
Denise, you had your hand up.
What's acrostic writing?
Yeah, so acrostic writing is, like it says here, you take something from art and you write, the figure in the art becomes the prompt for the writing. So, like, for example, how would the Mona Lisa, what does she see? What does she have to say? So it's using art really as a prompt. It could be Keats' ode to Grecian urn. I mean, that's a very classic example. There are tons of examples in writing, but if you go on the Google for that, you'll find all kinds of things there. I've done that a lot too, and it's really fun. So if I had Yeah, I mean, it could be paintings, prints, sculptures, photographs. Photographs can be amazing. You can use this process with those experiences as well. And it gets you inside the image. And there's a lot of self-discovery that happens in that process for me. And I don't think I'm unique that way. So it's a really fun way to fool around with spontaneity as well. But thank you for asking. Yeah. Anybody else have questions, comments? Anybody from Zoomland? We're quiet Zoomland here. Anybody there have something to say? Or okay.
Let me see if Tom has a question.
Okay. What's that?
Hey, Tom, did you have a question? You're on mute, Tom.
I wanted to ask Krana,
Okay.
because there's nobody else in the room to ask.
What's that, Tom?
Self-compassion.
Yeah? What? I'm sorry?
Self-compassion.
Yes, sir. What about it?
What do you think about a person like myself who uses self-compassion to encourage myself?
I think that's fantastic. And I would encourage you to keep doing that. That's what I
Right.
think.
And I got the self-compassion from your latest email.
Oh, the poem of the month. Yeah. And the email, the newsletter. That's right. It was-
Yes. Okay,
Thank
good.
you.
We're on the same page.
I get it now. Thank you for reading it and thank you for your beautiful response. I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Right from the heart.
Tell us
Mwah.
about your email and how to subscribe to that.
Oh, thank you, Mike. Sure. So what Tom is referring to is my monthly newsletter. And in that newsletter, I have a little blast that I put together. And then I have the poem of the month, which I've been publishing since, 2006. And I have events that are listed on there, including the monthly poetry play shop. And I also now have monthly bookmaking play shops on Zoom that I'm doing, and beginners are welcome. So that's been a real blast. So if you want to go sign up for the newsletter, just check me out on Clear Lens Coaching or write to me if you want, and I'll add you. Thank you, Mike. I always forget to say stuff like
Do you
that.
have a book? Did you just do a book thing or do you have one coming up? A bookmaking thing?
Yeah, I do. There's a book, well, there's the Valentine's Day bookmaking, 9:30 to 11:30 on Sunday. And then there is a bookmaking play shop in March. And all that comes in the newsletter and all of that is on my website.
And on ours.
And on yours, and thank you very much. Yeah, lots of fun, lots of fun. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I would like just for you to know, if any of you here in Zoomland have any questions or anything following this and you reach out to me, I will be happy to get back to you. I'm very accessible. So I want to thank you very much for being so welcoming, and thank you in Zoomland for being so welcoming. And thank you, Mike, for inviting me, and Paige, thank you for being you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And thanks everyone for coming on Zoom. Remember that we are live in the library now too. So depending on your, how you feel about going out into the world, we're going to turn this off now. And those of us that are here are going to eat some cookies and have snacks. It's going to be great. And we're going to talk to each other and all that sort of stuff that we used to do 2 years ago. So join us next month if you feel up to it, in person, live at the library. Otherwise, we'll still be doing the Zoom.
Thank you,
everybody.
friends. Bye, Zoomers.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ciao. Ciao, Belas and Belos.
Nice.